Morning, this is Dylan Jovine with Behind the Markets. Today is Wednesday, August 21st. So everybody talks about SpaceX, and SpaceX is a terrific company, Elon Musk's company, SpaceX. And everybody's always saying, how can I get a piece of SpaceX? How can I get a piece of SpaceX? But there are other companies that are doing just as fine of a job that are really starting to explode by sending materials into space. And one of them is a stock that we recommended a few months back called Rocket Lab, which is about $7.20 a share. It's up about 100% from our recommended price of $3.80. And a lot of folks have written in about it, and that's kind of what I wanted to talk about this morning. What I love about Rocket Lab is that, like SpaceX, it's part of this new generation of companies that are working with the military and in commercial uses too, to send rockets to space. And this speaks to, it actually touches on a bunch of things, but the wider story here is this. The fact that Boeing has astronauts stuck in space speaks to the issues that our old-fashioned defense contractors have been facing. They are not equipped to help us necessarily fight the wars at the speeds that we need to move. They're not innovating fast enough. They're just too big. So you have companies like SpaceX or Rocket Labs that are really filling in the gap. And I mentioned this before. I read Elon Musk's biography by Walter Isaacson earlier this year. A couple things that struck out at me immediately. One of them was, gosh, I never want to be Elon Musk, because no matter how much money that man has, he doesn't seem like a happy human being. He seems like a man who's at war with himself. I can tell you from personal experience, not a fun place to be in conflict within yourself. That's tough. But the other thing that struck me wasn't what he did with Tesla. It was really what he's doing with SpaceX. So he went in there and revolutionized the contracting process that happens when the government wants to send, let's say, satellites to space. The way it used to work was on what we call a cost-plus model. So a company like the Pentagon would go to Boeing and say, we need to send 15 satellites to space. Boeing would say, okay, that's going to cost us $1 billion, and we need to make 10% profit on that. So we will charge you $1.1 billion, and then those satellites would get launched whenever it's convenient for Boeing as quickly as they could do it. What Elon Musk's SpaceX did that truly revolutionized things is that he said that cost-plus model does not make sense. What I want you to do, he said to the Pentagon and the government, is just pay me when I successfully get something to space. I'll get it done faster, I'll move it there quicker, and I'll do it cheaper than any of the companies out there like Boeing. And Rocket Lab is doing the same kind of thing that SpaceX is doing. It is sending things to space for the US government, for commercial enterprises. So it's really, and these guys are pretty smart. I was looking at ways to buy SpaceX last year, and I stumbled on Rocket Lab, and I've just been studying them ever since. I'm like, this is a very, very, very solid team. And it's part of this new generation of companies that are really pushing our defense infrastructure into the 21st century, frankly, because I do not believe that the companies that helped us win World War II and basically dominate in the 20th century will be the same companies that help us really push into the 21st century. And thankfully, our system of capitalism is rewarding this new generation of defense contractors and rocket companies and things like that. So I am very bullish on Rocket Lab in the long term, for sure. It certainly had a run up here, and it's terrific, and I'm always happy when things run up. Frankly, personally, I wish it would have stayed lower a little bit longer so more people could have bought it, but we have to play the ball where it is, not where we want it to be. So I'm optimistic with Rocket Lab. I recommend holding shares here for all of those folks who've written in to ask. I think this thing has a lot more potential. Their earnings report was fabulous. I mean, truly shows 71% top line growth. That means that the Pentagon and the government and commercial enterprises want what this company has because they can move faster than the big guys up there right now like Boeing that have shockingly and sadly left some astronauts in space. Anyway, that's all I have for this Wednesday. I hope you have a wonderful, blessed day.